Alrighty, guys, welcome back here to round 3, the semifinals with Solid Jake and Zoya. Zoya, that is a beautiful face you have there.
Thanks, man. How you doing, boo?
I'm doing well. Can you up your mic on your end? Is that possible?
I can move it closer to my mouth.
Oh, there
I
we
can't
go.
make it louder. Hello?
That's a little better, maybe.
I can't make it any louder. It's at as loud as it gets, buddy.
All right, I can do something here. I'm gonna normalize that a little bit for this next match. Alrighty, well, we are about to start the draft.
Are you gonna labby?
No lobby till after the draft.
Oh.
Yeah.
I already have the draft link, Jake. Is that a new one?
Well, not the same one. I just didn't remember if I sent it to you or not.
Oh, you did. During the break, Jake.
Nice, man. Nice.
Oh, you hear that rhyme? Break, Jake?
You're basically like a rap master. Rhyme master. Because rapping and rhyming is the same thing as far as Jake's concerned.
That band starting.
Yes. Nice. L Stitches still banned. Ripperoni Buggerino. We have Blackheart's Bay being removed from the pool. Garden of Terror will follow.
No surprise there. There are only about 3 maps right now that see a lot of play in NA, and that is Infernal Shrines, Cumulus Spider Queen, and Battlefield of Eternity. Those are like the 3 most ran maps, and funny enough, with how often Battlefield of Eternity is picked, so many teams hate that map. It's why do you pick it? It's because it's good. We're good at it, but I hate playing it. I'm sorry, man.
Dream's dead.
Dream is dead.
Battlefield is dead. Dragonshire, Tomb, Sky Temple, Infernal Shrines. Honestly, those are probably my 4 favorite maps to cast. Maybe Cursed over Dragonshire. All left in the pool still.
Dragonshire used to be one of my favorites, but it's starting to fall off. Teams have just gotten really good at like knowing how to deny a Dragonite, as well as mixing in this current meta where it's very pokey, and Bob Ross is the only team that consistently runs hard engaged compositions, and Dragonshire is just like you have to get multiple kills to secure a Dragonite, so it can be really slow. But here it is. It's going to be Dragonshire. Panda Global with that first pick, first ban. Keep in mind, Panda Global being one of the teams in the top 8 for the North American regionals.
True.
Definitely a threat. But Arcane Esports beat the team that beat Blaze, who's considered to be top 4, top 5 in NA. So, can't count Arcane Esports out. Just because Panda Global is definitely probably the favorite in this matchup.
Yeah, I would say so, but Arcane has already impressed me today, so we'll see if they can do it again here on Dragon. Very different map for sure in terms of the style that we tend to see for play. A lot more rotations and priority on heroes like Zagara. So seeing her banned out here wouldn't be that odd, considering how strong it is to have a single, just very powerful solo laner for the top lane. No Zagara. Do we see a follow-up ban on Thrall? Do you think it's possible we'll see a first pick Thrall out of Panda Global?
It is possible for sure, but it is going to be Panda. It is going to be the Thrall ban, like you hinted at. They're just the best solo laners in this game, so getting denied, not too big of a shocker. Panda Global going to be first picking that Rhaegar. Again, no surprise there. He is just so good. And then Arcane Esports, man. We'll see what they're going to lock in here. They have a lot of damages on the table. Falstad's still available. Jaina. Muradin is up. Which it's interesting that the Warrior meta is in such a curious spot to me. With Stitches being banned, teams seem to have their own priority on who is the best Warrior right now. If a Warrior is picked up in NA before mid-tier bans, most of the time it is Muradin. Sometimes you will see ETC, but most of the time, if the Warrior pickup is before mid-tier bans, it's going to be Muradin. Yeah. But you almost never see Warrior pickups in the early draft anymore. They usually are willing to wait until the later parts of the draft to lock in that hero.
Well, in this scenario, I expect Muradin. Generally speaking, I agree with you, but having Rhaegar, Jaina, Muradin, I don't know the number of times I've seen that trio for the first picks when it's available. If Panda Global goes Johanna, I'm gonna be critical. I don't think it's worth it. Like, I don't really see the value of Johanna over Muradin. It's not like her hard engage is any better. She doesn't have the same kind of flexibility to just dwarf toss over walls for like really, really cheeky engagements. And I don't know. I just don't think she's as good as Muradin as a hero.
I think if you're going to go Joanna, though, it should be on this map. Controlling the rotations from mid to bottom is very important.
And Night Take Spawn is great, but...
Well, Joanna Jaina is like the perfect combo for wave clear.
That's
you
true.
Clump up all the minions, you get the Blizzard combo on top of them, and then they die. So if you're going to do it, it should be... it would be on this map. But I agree with you. Not necessarily needing to run Joanna this early. Warriors are in such a curious spot right now. Maybe we should have just like a warrior focus episode on Town Hall. Figure it out, because
yeah, we're gonna do that soon. Actually,
there is really warriors just across all regions. They're in a really interesting spot. With the consistent nerfs to warriors. Before warriors used to feel threatening. They used to feel terrifying. Whenever there was a murder in your backline, it could ruin your day. And he still has a point, but for the most part, warriors just seem to be, outside of ETC, who has like the heroic, they're only initiation now. They're not like, scary threats.
I'll give you a scary threat.
Oh!
Tyrande, Tassadar, Falstad. Control, vision, and mobility between the three heroes. All the sustain they could ever hope for if they do lock in Tyrande. And I like the Tyrande pick. I really think she's definitely just... You can't go lone Tassadar in most compositions. And I think she's a good pick here just for the Sentinel, the Hunter's Mark, the Lunar Flare, yada, yada, yada. Last pick, though. Should they save that Warrior pick for last? Should they lock in something like Li Ming or Kael'thas now?
I think they should go for damage. But it looks like it will be ETC. I don't know if I like that. I think if you're going to go ETC, you should last pick it. Give you the option to hide the ETC. Panda Global now knows that there's a threat of Mosh Pit, and guess what they do? If they would not have picked Raynor, if they would not have picked ETC here, I doubt Panda Global would have picked Raynor. Raynor's great for multiple ways. He's got the penetrating around to interrupt the Mosh Pit. He's got his level 13 talent.
Relentless Leader?
Relentless Leader, I don't know why it's based on the name. I mean, you should have hidden the ETC here, because now Panda Global has a great response to the ETC.
Very interesting that we're seeing a game with no Muradin. That's pretty uncommon, even with the nerf to Avatar. It's pretty darn uncommon. Panda Global considering on the last option, will it be another big damage dealer like Kael'thas? Kael'thas doesn't see as much play anymore. Will they go for a melee like, Zeratul and Thrall both banned out? Do they want Sonya?
Oh, it's going to be tough. It is tough. Sonya can work. ETC can be a bane of her existence, though, with the amount of stuns and disengages he has, but they are hovering the Sonya. A lot of damage. Can blow up the Falstad and the Tyrande. Another interrupt for ETC as well. They're thinking about it hard, though, Jake. I mean, there's so many great heroes still available.
I like Sonya a lot, just when you consider, like, Rhaegar and, Ancestral Heal, the Lightning Shield, the hard engage with those two.
I think it had to be Sonya or Kael'thas. Gravity Lapse is really good versus ETC.
True. And they have a good comp for Gravity Lapse. There's a lot of good synergy just for the hero in general. We saw a lot of Kael'thas yesterday, and I believe it was March that was playing a Pyroblast style with Gathering Power. It's really fun to see those huge pyros just pretty much against Zagara. Like almost every time, it was just every 100 seconds, goodbye Zagara, goodbye Zagara. Because with 20% ability power from Gathering Power late game, it hurts.
Yeah, it does. It hits hard. It's gonna be Lunara. Lunara, I think, can be pretty safe versus this composition. The only true hard engage besides Bless Shield would be Sonya, and as long as Lunara is positioned well, she should be able to live here.
Yeah. Super safe pick, honestly. She's just worried about Sonya.
Yeah. So I don't know. I like the Lunara pick, Jake.
You think it'll be? I'm looking at solo laners. Probably Tassadar versus Sonya. Maybe Falstad versus Sonya on top.
Yeah, it'll be Tass or Sonya probably. I think it'll be Sonya versus Falstad, actually. Tass is probably the best mid laner in the game.
Yeah, just the vision and the safety.
The vision,
so hard to
the
blow
safety. There's always middle lane is always going to be the most threatened when it comes to gank, because to get to every other lane, what do you have to do? Go through mid. So having someone like without an escape like Raynor and Lunara is tougher to do. It'll probably be Raynor in the mid. Well, Raynor's gonna be the rotations, but Tassar is just so good in mid lane.
All right, well, we are getting ready to start here for the semifinals best of one matchup. Panda Global and Arcane Esports. Big upsets today. I mean, Blaze, who even took a game off Cloud9 in the finals of yesterday's match. They fell out in round one, and that is the volatility of best of ones, but also of this bracket in general. A lot of talented teams here.
Yeah. It is that's just the volatile how volatile a best of one bracket can be. All it takes is just one misplay. Or busting out one good strat, right? You catch someone off guard and it's a best of one. Well, you advance, and that's some people look at that and they complain, but that's part of competing. Sometimes the better team of the day will be that one who can cheese you out of a best of one, and they deserve to win because of it. So I like the variety in tournaments that we see. I like the best format for this kind of style because it can lead to really fun games.
It certainly can. It's like it would be bad if there was only one qualifier, but since there's 8, you have so many chances to earn those points and to make your way into the playoff stage. We are waiting on one member here in the lobby. We have 9 out of 10. Though there he is, and we are ready to go. I'm going to give them the GLHF. They have to advance to the character select screen. Sorry, what's your favorite Li Ming skin?
I don't know, the Star Princess one?
Which version?
The green one?
So second hint.
She looks like Sailor Jupiter, man.
It's all about the Jupiter life.
Oh, yeah. You know it.
Was one of them, I thought, doesn't one of the Sailor Scouts like girls?
In the Japanese version.
It's the only version, dude.
Truth. Except for the English version and probably the 30 other languages that the show's been dubbed in.
No. You watch subs, not dubs. That's how you watch anime.
That's true. That is true. I am waiting on this game to start, Jake, and it's not doing that.
We've told them to go, but it's at their discretion. Jared has typed "go" like 7 times.
I'm like probably
lobby.
the most hated caster of all, from all teams. Like,
hey, no,
I am just like, I never stop typing "go" in lobbies. Like, if there's like a 30-second delay, I'm just like, hello, are we here?
Evan Drinde, just sitting on that Star Princess that was not picked. AFK, holding up everyone. Jared, your webcam is so perfectly centered. It's like impeccable.
I don't know if you're being...
Jared, what kind of keyboard do you have?
I am using a Fnatic Gear keyboard.
He doesn't even know the name of it.
I don't, but it's a Tempest Storm sponsor.
Nice. Well, Evan Drinde is still Evan Drinde FK, so we are waiting on him. Now remember, guys, if you're a follower of the channel, you are eligible for Magni Murd and skin bundle giveaways that I do between the games all weekend here for Enter the Storm. We had qualifier number 6 yesterday. Qualifier 7 is happening today. We're currently in the semifinals. After this, of course, we will cast a best of 3 for the grand finals, and tomorrow will be qualifier number 8. I have not confirmed my co-caster for that yet. So yeah, you want to cast tomorrow?
Maybe. I don't know what my schedule is right now for tomorrow.
All right.
I'll have to ask me again after the cast when
Sounds
I can
good.
see what I'm doing.
But I will be announcing that on Twitter tonight when I do lock in my co-caster for the final Enter the Storm qualifier. Of course, Kaldor is generally the caster for this series, but he is currently ill. So hopefully he's going to be feeling better soon, as the tournament series will continue moving forward after the qualification stage, which will be completed this weekend. And a big shout out to Go2 Gamers for the opportunity to cast this, as I am thoroughly enjoying all of the games. The chat is currently exploding with Evan Drinde, please go, 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 Evan Drinde, please go, go, go. I wonder if there's a rule on this where they would forfeit. Like after 15 minutes, they might. Oh, we're going backwards. Oh no. What?
I was kicked from the lobby. What happened?
No spammerino. Oh, this is progressive. So glad we can get this next match going for you guys. We're working desperately to actually start this game right now. And the chat is actually starting to move even faster. Like, Twitch chat's got to catch up. You can hear Jared's sick APM. Man, I feel obligated to do another Magni Murden giveaway while we wait. So let's do that.
Hashtag waffle in the chat, Hashtag waffle in the chat, to enter the giveaway for the Magni Murden.
Thanks for that. You don't have to type anything, actually, but if you would like to plague the chat, you can make my mods hate their lives. Thanks, mods. Love you. Anyways, we have a skin that I will be waffling out before we start this game about 1 minute from now. Just want to make sure any new viewers can hit that follow button to make sure that they are eligible, because I always feel bad skipping over someone that is not a follower.
Jake, leave in-game chat before they say something dumb.
Oh, it's still up?
Yeah.
Good call. Oh, man. Apparently, I accidentally showed Skype yesterday.
Yeah, I saw the Giazzo.
Oh, man.
iDream's the one that sent it to me.
Wait, Dream just screen capped it?
Yeah.
What a
I mean, I
guy.
don't know if he's the one that screen capped it, but he's the one that sent me the Giazzo. He's like, who is he messaging here? I was like, oh, that's Glow Baby. You were such a dork.
Well, Jared, let's talk about some of the other things. On Wednesday nights, Jared and I and Kubi, we do a podcast called Town Hall Heroes. We've actually been doing it for over 2 years officially. This past week was our 2-year anniversary, and we have had 96 episodes. So we've done live episodes at BlizzCon. We've done episodes on the run. We've done episodes from Blizzard's headquarters at this point while we were visiting. So the show has actually been through a lot. What are you giggling at? The chat? Oh,
Twitch
gosh.
chat.
The chat has actually turned into plague. So that's our podcast that we do for Heroes of the Storm, but there's a new podcast that I started with Ask Joshi on Thursdays. It is actually Thursdays at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, for Overwatch, Town Hall Overwatch. So that's a brand new show. It just debuted this week. You can find all of that at SolidJakeGG on YouTube. So just youtube.com/SolidJakeGG. All the VODs from this tournament, those kind of shows, and an educational series for Heroes of the Storm called The Daily Quest can all be found there. And they do premiere live here on this channel as well.
Now we got waffle spams and Avenger Day spams.
Oh,
gosh,
this is
your
actually
mods.
awful. Well, let's
This
give away
amazing.
that skin now.
This is like Creparian's tier of like spam, man. This is impressive.
Oh man, let's do the giveaway. All right, the winner is Forbana Desvinsk. I can't really say that, but I will type it in chat, and I will be sending you a code via Twitch private message containing a key for Magni Murden bundle that you redeem on battle.net/code. All right, code sent out.
Congratulations, man. You deserve it. Now keep in mind there will be at least one more Magni Murden giveaway after this game before we go into the finals. Make sure that you spam hashtag waffle. The more times that you say hashtag waffle, the more times you are entered in the giveaway.
Damn.
That's just... damn.
I mean, my faucet's not that bad.
Whatever, dude. I've seen you play easy to play heroes. I can't even imagine how devastating your Gus's can be on your own team.
Man, so VM.
I was like, imagine like, oh my god, there are 5 men clumped up into a lunar flare. They're all gonna die, and then Jake just gusts them away. It's like, oh.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and hit up the admins just to let them know that we are currently still waiting. I want to make sure they are well aware. And Global Cooldown has actually given us a host. There are our friends that do the ultimate esports events for World of Warcraft Arena. So,
Yeah,
my friends at Global Cooldown, thank you very much. Much love.
I love the guys at GCD. They are awesome.
I mean, Zoe and I, we both play WoW, actually. You're
I
actually still into Arena. You play with your buddies quite a bit still. I haven't played in a couple of
They
years.
were playing last night, actually.
Yeah, exactly. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're trying to figure out what the rules are for subs and if they're even allowed to do that. Because Evan Drinde,
please.
yeah, I don't know what is going on here, but we just got to put this up so I can use Skype quickly.
I've tilted your mods to the point that now they're spamming. Usually they're like, Soya, please stop. Why do you make our job hard? And now they realize they can't stop me, so why not join me?
Well, I've given the mods the situation. We'll be waiting for an update. Oh, he's here? Now I have to give the mods an update. Alrighty, Evan Drinde is alive, so this means the game will be starting soon. Hopefully, nothing terrible has happened in the real realm of him.
He just comes back and says hi. He just... Oh, Evan Drinde. Well, guys, we're loading into the game finally. Evan Drinde, please. It's like Beetlejuice, but you only have to say his name 300,000 times, and we finally hit that limit as we're loading into Dragonshire. I even forgot what map we were on in that time.
Yeah, what are the drafts? Well, you can see them here if you're just tuning in now. And Dragonshire is the map. This is the semi-finals of this tournament, so that means it is indeed a best-of-1 match. Considering the delay that we have, the enemy team should be waiting, so we should be able to go directly from this into the grand finals and then just propel forward with that last best of 3 for the day. But Dragonshire, here we are booting on in.
Booting on in, booting on in. You like that song? Guys,
Love
here
that
we
song.
are, left-hand side of the map in the blue trunks. It's going to be Panda Global, the only team from the top 8 from North American Regionals playing in this tournament left. Akaface on the Rhaegar, Psalm playing the Joanna, Tomster on Sonya, Big Impact playing Raynor, and running out the team will be Michael Udall, the Noodle himself, on Jaina.
So now Handlebars is the one that's AFK. Oh, there he is. He's alive playing Lunara. We have Chris Theo playing as Tyrande, Schnazzy on ETC, Evan Drinde, the AFK master himself on Falset, and Mfu on Tassadar.
Well, taking a look at these lanes we talked about, and so let's go ahead and remind people, because it was so long ago, probably going to be Falstad versus Sonya in that top lane, though you can change it up as both Tassadar and Raynor are decent solo laners as well, to see where they want to end up going. Looks like it's going to be Arcane being the potential aggressors here, Snazzy on the verge of going in. Looking like he's wanting to go for a power side here.
Okay. You know, step forward, not going to go for it though. Warpaint ends up being picked up here on the Sonya instead of Shadow Fury. Conviction, or excuse me, Knight takes pawn there for Johanna, just because lane clear is so very powerful and necessary on this map for the rotations between mid and bottom consistently throughout the game. And a nice dive in there with the Ancient Spear onto Evan Drinde, but he barrel rolls back to safety.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Taking a look at the top lane, it's actually going to be Lunara versus Raynor. Was not expecting that. That's That's definitely an interesting matchup. Lunara gonna have to use her Wisp well. If she's not using her Wisp well, she's a very easy gank target for Panda Global, and they're known for being one of the more aggressive teams out there, Jake.
Yeah, it's true. But all right, we are here at the 1 minute 15-second mark. The Shrine's now active and available, and the bottom one being controlled early by Panda Global. Arcane will have control of the top one with Lunara, and she did have the Wisp scouting out the bottom area, still hanging out there, but she's going to have to reapply it as it has now disappeared.
Another team really controlling rotations. Michael Udall is mainly just sitting mid, as he does end up clearing that way very easily, but he's not rotating down. Akaface, Thompson, and Psalm trying to contest the bottom shrine here. Jaina's actually rotating up for potential gank onto handlebars, and it's not scouted right now. The slow goes down. This is what we're talking about. The problem with Lunara in the solo lane. If Raynor was there for any damage at all, just would have been able to kill handlebars. They're bad, communication between Michael Udall and Big Impact, as Raynor should have been a little bit more in position to help burst down that Lunara.
Well, some even trades on both sides, and actually Akaface having to back up away from the Lunar Flare, but now is being body blocked successfully, but the Wolf form isn't enough. No fall, Fawcett flying in, the heal's coming out last minute, and Akaface will be caught by Mfu and end up getting blown up. A beautiful rotation here on the side of Arcane. Lunar Flare connects on top through the power slide, not ready, and they do dodge that Hammerang, so he will be able to slip on out.
Some trying to get away here, should be able to. Joanna's very hard to end up killing off here. Evan Drinde getting actually a lot of damage onto him. If he can get in front of him for a body block, that would be huge. Psalm getting really low to Evan Drinde. That just shows you the power of Falstead as a bully. And Psalm's going in for the interrupt here. He's going to get one interrupt, but I don't think they're going to be able to deny this. Yeah, wow, not only getting a very early first blood versus them, but they also got a very first early Dragonite versus Panda Global. This is impressive.
Yeah, it's a huge start here. Now Michael Udall taking a ton of damage in the bottom. He will go down, but the Ancient Spear from Sonya is good. Committing, but the Hunter's Mark, Lunar Flare combo, too much, 2 for nothing. And ETC manages to live. I can't believe the body blocks there.
Yeah, really, really well done. It was, I mean, wow, this is actually quite impressive here. Seeing from Arcade, a team that, I've been casting Chrissy Lowe and Evan Drinde for a while, but the rest of them are still pretty new to me, and they're playing this very well so far. Panda Global definitely needs to reassess themselves going into this game.
Evan Drinde actually just bought a whole box of energy drinks and just chugged them to get his esports level to maximum before this game. That's why he AFK'd. Exposed. Level 7 here, loudspeakers being picked up. We have a full sustain style out of Tassadar, the standard classic sustain style, when we have a more utility-focused Tirana, just like last game, going for the Lunar Blaze for the range, and of course reduced cooldown for that Hunter's Mark level 1.
Level 7 almost here for Panda. We'll see what they end up picking here. Dragonite did some decent damage. I mean, to the point that they got a full level lead with that early of a DK. Oh, man, we'll see what Panda Global can do to swing this back in their favor. They're going to be taking these Knights here on the bottom. Nice invade. Thompson has to be careful, and he does not look like he will be revealed. Good push potentially here in the bottom lane with the Giants and the Bruisers. This could do a lot of damage if they push right.
Yeah, they're setting up for it, that's for sure. I mean, ETC is actually working on this giant camp to try to defend this, but it's going to take him a while to do that on his own, and this wall will pretty much completely fall during that time. Falsa trying to save the root town to help with the collection of that giant camp, and since they saw them disappear, they fell back a little bit, but the moment that Psalm is rotating down, they're getting a little bit more aggressive with this push.
They are trying to get much close to narrow that experience gap as much as they can, because as level 10 is going to be achieved here by Arcane Esports, that's when the next shrines are going to be spawning, and Panda Global is desperately looking to try and get 10 by then, so they're not on a terrible footing. If you have a 10 advantage and the shrines are up for contention, that's basically a guaranteed Dragonite when your opponent doesn't have 10. So Psalm getting very aggressive here, taking a lot of damage, and the power slide's done. Wow, Psalm just getting punished for his greed. Went in for a condemn on the minions to clump them up. Used Iron Skin really early. Yeah, and just the punish was beautiful.
That was really, really, really reckless. How early he used Iron Skin, he used it to just absorb damage, and ETC can hold that power slide for a long time before he needs to do it. He had the body blocks. He didn't need to cast it, so well done by ETC, and a bit of a slip up there by Johanna.
Yeah, really. I mean, this is the difference between. Oh, wow, Lunara getting killed there. That's one of the fears of her as a solo laner. But I like the call from Evan Drinde to just fly out there and soak that experience. But yeah, That's one of the decisions. That's one of the things that set aside, the good teams from the great teams is being able to punish in situations like that. A lot of teams wouldn't look at, Joanna and think they could be able to kill him, but they saw the overextension, they saw the greed with the Iron Skin Popper leading, and that just shows you hints of that this team could become fantastic. It's just being able to make decisions like that and secure kills that a lot of teams probably wouldn't.
All right, ETC actually stage diving almost point blank to get out of there. Yes, that is a weird heroic that was picked up. Not all that common, but considering all the lockdowns and interruptions that exist, penetrating round alone is a big threat for that mosh pit. We're not going to see that heroic picked up today. Tomster taking a lot of damage from the poke in top, but other heroics, do we see anything weird? Pretty standard across the board outside of stage dive.
Yeah, Stage Dive definitely a different pickup here. Did get its damage buffed a patch or two ago, but it's still interesting to see here. And that gives them the two globals, Falstad and ETC. They're able to pressure multiple lanes, eventually get caps earlier. ETC, if they win a fight, can Stage Dive top and cap it. Falstad can fly top. There's so much point contention with this composition. I'm really excited to see how it's going to play out here. Level 11 still to level 11, but if collapse onto Big Impact, he gets the power slide there. He does dodge the Lunar Flare. Nice cleanse from Akaface to keep him alive there. And that definitely saved Big Impact for the moment, but now Psalm very extended. Lunar comes down. Hyperion popped really early, but that's a big Lunar Flare coming out from, Hyperion coming out to zone them out. Shadowstalk used to keep everyone top off. Gust used from Evandrinde, and Big Impact has to back out.
Really well on both teams. There's a lot of situations where either side could have picked up the kill, but the defensive heroics were there, and Psalm was there with the rotation just in time to keep Big Impact alive, but now he's going to get the Ancestral just barely, staying topped off in that fight, with so many heroics on cooldown, really just stage dive and bless shield available for these fights.
Yeah, let's see what they can do. Nice invade here from Arcane Esports to steal these Giants. Top Shrine was capped by Tomster there for Panda Global. And the Collapse is coming in here. They're going to be able to get into an awkward spot, but Psalm not willing to force the fight as they were still very, very split up. Still really great shot calling coming out from Arcane Esports as they do catch Akaface a little bit out of position. Lunarflare not going to connect there. Lunara's still up in mid. She's going to be rotating top, so if they can get away from this, that's going to be a shrine for a shrine.
Yeah, and they're looking to get level 13 well ahead. These Giants haven't been responded to. They're sieging up safely in the back. They're going to get that tower at this rate. And it's almost like Panda Global doesn't even know those Giants are there. They're just getting so much damage dealt.
Yeah, they're getting mad value. They just got that fort, that tower down. They're gonna start work on this fort. Akaface and Mako Udall finally rotate to end up dealing with it here. And this is gonna be level 13 first for Arcane Esports. Still doing a fantastic job so far, rotating around the map. This is where Dragon Shire can become a bit of a struggle for these teams, as when both teams are rotating, they're on even footing. They know how to play the map, and they're afraid to force a fight. It ends to these long stalemates here, and neither team can seem to get an advantage and try and get a Dragonite. So we're going to see, what they can do to catch someone out of position. Looks like they're going for Chrissy Low here. Blessed Shield does not end up coming out, though.
So let's just talk about control a little bit. We've got Crippling Hammer with Shrink Ray and Face Mount picked up. Just so much more power into control. Tatsler is going to be really hard to kill, and actually we see greater Spell Shield here on Lunara for that crazy sustain. A big Gust going out early to try to force a disengage here, but Psalm looking to continue with this engagement, and we see Shadowstalk has to be used pretty early in this battle.
Yeah, trying to kite back here. That's going to be the death of ETC, though. Not able to keep him alive. They tried their hardest. No Lunar or Sonya. Good force fight, 4 versus 4 there from Panda Global, and they're going to be able to secure themselves the first fort of the game. At the same time, the Tomster capping that top shrine. I don't think they're going to be able to get a Dragonite out of it with Lunara here, unless she gets caught, and she gets slowed by Michael Udall. Psalm goes in for the condemn, but man, Lunara's damage is just so insane. But Michael Udall was probably thinking was a great engage for him. He just got slapped by the damage from Lunara.
Greater Spell Shield nullified all of the incoming damage. Wow! The False Head flying in with the Gust, but just a moment too late with that Lunar Flare to deny the Dragonite. Ancestral will keep Akaface topped off and stage dive in, but the Force Wall actually working against ETC in that situation. Power sliding in, just trying to keep the peel in, but this Dragon is going to have a long life, another 50 seconds, where it is going to be a menace to the side of Arcane Esports.
We'll see what Panda Global wants to do with it. Is Michael Udall inside of it, so the Jaina is in a very safe position right now to the burst of Arcane Esports. They're rotating to the top lane, going to try and get themselves potentially another fort. I like this decision. You send the Dragonite top, you push yourself, you push in the mid as the 4 here. Not the best wave clear between these guys, but they should be able to get themselves this fort. And I love this call from Arcane as well. They had Evan Drinde also soaking bottom lane, which is normally extremely greedy, being spread out that thin, but they're just trying to get as close to 16 as they possibly can, and it's working out. They're not that far on experience, Jake.
They really aren't. I mean, half a level away here on the side of Panda Global, very close to having 16, but it's pretty much the same story here for Arcane Esports. This game dead even so far. Dragonite expiring just 1 second. You see he's even backed away to make sure he's not getting rotated on.
Level 16 so close for these teams. Let's see what the talent pickups are going to end up being here. Interesting to note that a Relentless Leader was still picked up, and I think that's a good thing. You know, for a while on Raynor, we were only ever seeing Relentless Leader versus just Mosh Pit, but now for most Raynors, we're actually still seeing Relentless Leader picked up, even versus a hero like Muradin. People are realizing that, you know, the knockback is just so good at disengaging. Even if you don't need a hard disengage versus something like Mosh Pit, just for normal stuns, it just gets mad value.
You'll still see Giant Killer versus like large health pool compositions and whatnot,
like
but this is a situation where that's not even the case, and Relentless Leader even is just going to get way more value for the hero in general.
Yeah, I agree with you completely, Jake. Level 16 for both these teams here. And we see the Blessed Shield come out. They're trying to get on top of Handlebars and Chrissy Low. The Shadow Stalk was used. Good gust coming out from Evan Drinde is going to split up the team. There is Stage Dive used in the backline. Snazzy immediately gets knocked back. Storm taking a lot of damage. The Essential does not end up connecting. Good kill coming out from Arcane.
Oh man, Greater Spell Shield is just so absurd. They threw so much at Lunara and it didn't even hurt her. Like, she was at 90% health, and they turn around, and with Hunter's Mark, Johanna looked like a squishy little plush doll. Just step on it and it's dead.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting fight there from Panda Global. They're having a hard time, hard engaging, and you brought it up in the draft as actually Snazzy's taking some damage. I don't know if they'll be able to get Thompson, but you brought it up in the draft, Jake. You know, when they picked the Joanna over the Muradin, and the Joanna, it can make sense on this map with the rotations, with the Condemn, but you know, with them having this difficulty forcing these fights, you know, Muradin might have worked out a lot better in this position.
I mean, I think the way that I look at it is Johanna's better early game and Muradin's better late game. And in these team fight situations and with these compositions, Muradin would be just so much more valuable. Forest Wall too, now that they have Forest Wall, Johanna can't walk through that, Muradin can jump over it. So there's just a lot of differences that would have worked out really nicely, I feel, if Muradin was that warrior instead for Panda Global.
Arcane rotating down, they're going to be taking this bruiser in the bottom of the map. Sonya Thompson in the top lane, still soaking, making sure they're not giving up any experience. And right now, Panda Global is actually soaking 3 lanes, whereas Arcane was only soaking that bottom lane, which is going to help them even up the experience and get closer to 20.
Okay, yeah. Well, nice, you know, very, very even on XP. In terms of forts, only one fort has gone down this game. The respect that these two teams are giving each other is rather impressive. I mean, everybody is really just respecting the threat of a big team wipe and playing rather passively and safe. And once again, we're seeing those shrines being traded out. Evan Drinde flying to top, going to control the top shrine for the red team of Arcane. And now we see a bit of a potential base race, forcing out a big Hearth out of Arcane. Even just backing away. Oh,
they didn't go for it. They didn't feel like both teams are like trying to do this dance. I'll make you back. No. We'll make you back. And they're just going to go for it. Arcane getting the worst of the trade here as they're losing a keep wall for that fort. Yeah, they did get the fort. That's going to give them a nice chunk of experience. But now, if Panda Global is able to secure themselves a keep, or a Dragonite, excuse me, there's a keep that they could very easily siege down.
Did you see the perfect timing on that penetrating round from Big Impact? The moment ETC was grounded from the stage dive, he was knocked out. So he couldn't power slide after that. A lot of ETC players try to immediately power slide in and then get to that big knockback, especially with Face Smelt. But
I love Big Impact.
Well done by Big Impact, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's one of the best players in NA. Definitely the best on Panda Global. He is such a fantastic range assassin. I love watching him play here. So I'm looking for the Condemn. He only hits the Snazzy there. Evan Drinde using a Gust and not getting too much value out of it. They're going to be able to try and get on this point. Hyperion goes out. Water Elemental pop. They're doing a lot of damage to Snazzy. He's deep in the backline. Has a lot of power slide damage there, but Psalm gonna get hit with that Ancestral. Now Thompson are very extended right now. Rhaegar not having the great heals to keep him alive, but a 2-for-0 exchange so far in favor of Panda Global, and they should be able to get themselves a Dragonite here.
That was absolutely beautiful, except for this. This is really scary. No Ancestral heal available. Michael Udall, can he stay alive? The heal does come out in time. Ice Block paying off, and actually the re-engage here gonna work against Lunara. No spell shield this time on cooldown, and they go down. Let's just talk about that fight in bottom just one more time very quickly. The force wall that separated the team put Sonya in a position where she was pretty much all on her own. And a lot of Sonya players would have been really scared to just kind of play passively, but she just said, you know what? I'm just gonna do as much damage as I possibly can to the squishiest target in my face, Falstad. She managed to burn Falstad down very quickly because of how hard Sonya does actually hit, and she succeeded in doing so. As a result, the heals came through. She managed to live. Michael Udall goes for a cheeky re-engage, knowing still his Ice Block stays alive, and they manage to get another pick on Lunara, and that secures them a Dragonite.
Be level 20 to level 19 here, Jake. Let's see what they can do with this push. They do get themselves that fort. It's interesting that they're still pushing mid, though. I'd like to see them rotate down, trying to get as much value as they can. They have those giants pushing down there, but so I'm already taking a lot of damage on this Dragonite. I don't know if this is the best value they could be getting with a 17-minute Dragonite. Shrink Ray used on it. They're trying to burn this down, and I don't know if I like this decision-making from Panda Global. I think they could have gotten themselves a keep here. I mean, they got a front wall, sure, but look at Psalm's health. The Dragonite's already almost dead.
That's the poke of Lunara, though. She just hits so hard. You can throw that Hunter's Mark on the dragon as well and really burn through its health pool, and they've done a great job in doing that safely. Everyone's back alive. They're ready to mount this defense. Sure, they don't have the Storm Talent for level 20 quite yet, but the dragon is all but dead.
It just goes down there. And now there's 2 exposed keeps, so that's good if they get themselves another Dragonite, but I feel that, this was not the best decision making. Psalm comes in for that Condemned to disengage for his team. Thompson looks like he will be able to alive. Keeping my eye on Evan Drinde. I know he's itchy to fly in and go for them Gus, but he's not going to do it this game. And Storm Talent's picked up here for PG with a full level lead.
Yeah, they're almost there on the side of Arcane. Storm Shield was used in that fight, so that is one long cooldown that was spent by Rhaegar. Other talents we do see, Nexus Frenzy, we've got Bolt, we've got Indestructible, so they do have a greater power spike for sure, but level 20 just now being reached here for Arcane.
Taking a look at the talents, nothing too out of the ordinary here. I love the rewind on Tassadar, Storm Shield on the Tyrande. I mean, they're going to become really tanky with that. Bolt of the Storm for the repositioning from ETC as well, I like a lot.
I mean, Epic Mount and Galloping Gate, the assassins on this team just got so much more mobile, and you can see some really cheeky plays happen. You can see those offensive flies forward that you were just talking about. Evan Drinde might have wanted to do earlier. With Epic Mount, it's so much safer to do that. But this play here to push down this top wall, once again forcing the position of Arcane back into their base.
Well, they're going to go ahead and back out. That's all 3 keep walls down for Arcane Esports. Panda Global doing a great job so far of rotating. This is one of the tough parts about Dragonshire is when there's no Dragonite to contest. Teams just kind of aimlessly wander around looking for either picks or looking for camps to take here. And now it's 30 seconds until the next Shrine phase. And this is going to be the last fort standing for Panda Global. It should end up going down here. Handlebars does so much damage siege-wise. Force wall does come out. So they're going to go ahead and disengage, not willing to fight underneath this. Trying to get out of there. Oh man, I love the money pig mount, by the way. Snazzy looking real snazzy today.
They're not nearly as popular as they used to be since the mouse pool has grown so much in this game, but Zoya is like one of the original money pigs in the world.
I was the world 3rd money pig owner. Arthlon and Soldier were the only 2 people to buy it before me. So yeah, I'm OG, man.
Oh, money pig. It's even an
pig.
emoticon on your stream, dude.
Yeah, and it's a song, too. Bruiser's at the bottom of the map, taken here by Panda Global. They do keep the bottom shrine, where Arcane does the reverse. They take the top shrine, and we'll see where this dance is going to go on here. It looks like they're going to be contesting at least the mid for now, as Arcane really wants to get that middle fort here. And this is the tough part about these rotations here is, when you take these camps, the enemy team ends up rotating to go for that camp. You try and go cap top shrine, but guess what? They just rotated bottom lane to clear your camps, and they're going to be able to get that as well. So it's just this constant rotation dance, and it's so hard to force a fight in this situation, especially late game. That's why Dragonshire games can tend to be a little bit longer, is it's so hard. Dude. There's so many objective points to contest that usually the teams are on the opposite side of the map from each other.
Yeah, it's musical shrines in a lot of ways, just going back and forth. Raynor all by himself here in the bottom, forced to use that Hyperion and does get picked off. The power of the fly, the presence of the stage dive, paying off in that situation, and he was just way out of position. A huge pickoff for Arcane.
This is what I was talking about at the beginning of the game when they punished Psalm for being, just slightly out of position. These are the plays that you see from the top teams, that you see from MVP Black, that the moment anyone is just even slightly out of position, I mean, no one was even near him. He was safely soaking bottom. No. Not for Arcane. They knew they could get that kill. Now Psalm having to pop Iron Skin. Evan Drinde goes in for the Gust. Doesn't actually hit anybody with that. But they're going to go for Akaface. Here's Snazzy trying to get in range. Michael Udall with the slows from above. Akaface might have to pop Ancestral there. There goes the power slide onto Snazzy. Akaface gets Storm Shield Ancestral to himself. He's trying to kite back here. Joanna goes for a cap here. And this is exactly what Panda Global needs to do. They have both shrines, and they're going to be able to stall out the Dragonite. This is such a good play here.
Oh!
Oh my god, that fly from him was so smart.
The Blast Shield coming out here from Johanna, trying to re-engage. They managed to control both shrines. I don't know how Rhaegar got out of there. We saw that pick off from Raynor a while ago. He's actually respawning, and somehow, some way, Panda Global turns that situation around.
It was such great plays from both teams. I cannot believe a Dragonite wasn't capped, and it's now a 5 versus 5. Michael Udall taking a lot of damage. He's going for Snazzy, though. He knows Bolt is down, as it wasn't used too long ago, but now both shrines are controlled by Arcane. Tasks are really, really low. Snazzy getting collapsed upon Akaface.
Topster.
Not going to be able to get it, but Tomster gets hit by the Lunar Flare. Akaface gets a Storm Shield there just to keep him alive. It's still 30 seconds on Ancestral Healing there. Oh, Jaina in a really bad spot. Going to have to pop Ice Block. This is a lot of defenses down. Evan Drinde looking for the flank, Jake.
He's looking for the big gust, but he's not feeling too bold right now. The micro stun onto Tomster is big, and the stage dive is coming in from ETC, but the Ancient Spear defensively used to get away. Tomster is very low. Might go down the south field. They managed to blow up ETC. Force Wall working against him in that scenario, and this Hyperion is doing so much damage. A big gust on 3 targets. Salma is really pulling them back and pushing them away, and somehow Panda Global gets a hero pickoff.
Yeah, they could have gotten a second kill. Psalm missed the Bless Shield onto Evan Drinde. I don't know if they would actually gotten the kill on that. As Paul said, still very mobile, like you said, with that epic fly. But now this is actually, this is actually really bad split coming out from Panda Global, as they went for a 2-3 split, and that allowed the 4-man to contest the 3-man here, giving Arcane just a sliver of hope here to stall out for ETC. But they don't end up getting the cap. Akaface is bullying them off of it. Jaina is fighting out versus Handlebars here, and Handlebars can beat Michael Udall in this 1 versus 1. The rotation is happening here. And I think Panda Global should be able to get this. They have one more interrupt on the Tomster, but they're trying to get the bottom point here. It's only Psalm. They're on the point. They're trying to go for the cap, and it looks like Tomster is going to be able to get the Dragonite.
Oh, I don't believe it. Dude, I don't believe it. They get the dragon. They stall out just barely long enough. Psalm walking away, and now it's a big defensive position for Arcane. This game is actually just crazy. There's so much stuff happening everywhere.
Both teams are just like capitalizing on mistakes of the other team and then making fantastic plays. It's just such an evenly matched game here. This is so well played from these guys. This should be a 2-keep though for Panda Global. Potentially could go core, as this is a 24-minute Dragonite, but man, Handlebars does so much siege damage. Tomster already losing a quarter of his HP. I don't think they can go core here. They're doing a lot of damage. Wow, to Tomster. He's at half health here. Now down to a third. Great burst coming out from that Dragonite. If they only lose this 1 keep here, Arcane's still in a great spot.
Yeah, that's a big deal. They've got the bottom lane completely pushed out with those Giants on the side of Arcane, so that's a nice win for them. If they lose this keep here, it's very unlikely, 1, but 2, it's not the end of the world because of how pushed this lane is for them, and there's no minions anywhere nearby. We do see the Hyperion being cast. Tomster stepping forward, but they need to start bursting him down, even with the Hyperion in the way.
There's going to be the second keep, so they were able to secure it. This is a really good moment for Panda Global, and if they can get out of here without any lives, it is Tomster, though. He doesn't have the best escape. He pops Wrath of Berserker. Condemn comes out from Psalm to zone them out. Power Slide does end up connecting, but it was a great cleanse from Akaface. They're trying their hardest to get out of here. Can they catch him with a Force Wall or a stun? Psalm does get the Iron Skin off. Nice job using his trait to keep himself alive. Tomster, though, still very far forward. Power Slide connects. He's in a bad spot. Gets hit by the knockback, but they're trying to turn it down. Condemn comes down onto Mfu. They're kiting back as well as they can. Michael Udall being zoned out by Handlebars and has to use Bolts of the Storm, and I think Panda Global should be able to disengage here, but now their bottom keep is exposed and could be siege down. Power Slide doesn't connect. False and zones out 2 people there. Tomster has to pop Hardened Shield very early there. He's getting very low. Good Storm Shield coming out from the Tyrande there. Snazzy getting low. Bolts of the Storm out. Good Ancestral Healing onto Tomster, and they're looking for the chase, and this poke from the Lunara is just whittling down Panda Global.
Man, very close calls on both sides. No, Michael Udall falls to the headwig. The Sentinel picking him off. Beautiful shot there from Tyrande.
That was insane. That was really well done there from Arcane. I don't know if the shrines will be up by the time Jaina is alive. I think that she should be alive before the next Dragon Knight phase is going to spawn. But they might be able to get themselves a keep here with these Giants. They're pushing it as 5. You see Tomster Som and Big Impact taking that top keep. And take a look at the damage, the hero damage. Lunara is on top there slowly, but slightly ahead of Raynor, just showing the 2 power of of those auto attack siege heroes. And that will be that keep falling. So, you know, evening it up just a little bit. They're still down 1 keep in mid, but a nice plays coming out from Arcane.
What a game so far. 15 seconds till Michael Udall is back in action on Jaina. Just taking a quick look at the stats in this game. I mean, damage in favor of Lunara, 67,000 over the Raynor at 63,000 for those top damage dealers.
The Lunara has to be careful, being the last one to stay there. Could have been her death, but she is going to get out of there just fine. Jaina is up as the shrines are spawning, Jake, and you know, it's still such a close game. This is going to be real tough for these teams. I mean, we're going to see another contention coming out soon here. So the bottom shrine goes to Panda Global, Jake. Top shrine goes over to Arcane Esports, and potentially going to be threatening this bottom lane here as they're going to be clearing out these Giants. You have to keep in mind these catapults constantly pushing these lanes for these teams.
All right, we see this camp being contested here. Again, musical shrines, just both teams just trying to not be caught out of position, playing very passively. We see constant vision being sent out in the form of wisps and sentinels on the side of Arcane, but there's no real vision that can be gained here by the team of Panda Global. So they're just more or less sticking together, rotating around, and trying to desperately find someone out of position or find an advantage in one way, shape, or form.
Well, they're looking for it. Shrines are being contested. Top goes to Panda Global, bottom goes to Arcane, and this is the rotations that you constantly see. And basically what the teams are wanting to do is just punish someone for being too far out of position. But here comes Som going forward, taking a lot of damage already from Lunar. That's a really early Iron Skin pop, Jake.
Yeah, that's... It forces him to play a little bit more passively, actually. He's just checking the flanks. See the teamers rotating down. Johanna will be a little bit late to this engage in mid, but they do have control of the top shrine. Remember, Falstad can fly up there in a heartbeat, and he's going to do exactly that. This is a situation where Falstad's sitting on that top shrine. Rhaegar making it to the bottom shrine. Dragon Knight might... It's going to be really close, but yeah, it should be stalled out. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they got there just in time to trade that out. Really good job there from Panda Global. I mean, it all comes down to these rotations. We'll see if a fight will end up being forced around the owl. There's so much vision on the end of Arcane Esports.
There really is. Vision and mobility.
Yeah, a lot of it. It's just such a tough composition to deal with. And, you know, can you believe how crazy this game has been, Jake? There's only 7 to 6 kills. That's just like the state of this meta. It's like these stall, slow siege compositions. But there's only been 13 kills in this 30-minute game.
That's insane. That's insane. Well, it really feels like Arcane is dictating the pace of the late game, though, just because of the vision and the mobility that they have. But Psalm rotating in onto ETC, and this could be lights up for him. Power sliding to safety. A big Hyperion being cast rather early in this fight. Hasn't hit anyone yet. Just starting to poke in, but we see the entire team of Arcane backing away from that and poking. This severe poke that exists on Lunara is disastrously powerful.
Yeah, that Lunara's damage is just so good late game. Still about 10k ahead of Raynor, the #1 spot right now. Snazzy trying to contest the point. If they get this, this is going to be both shrines controlled by them. And Top's just so far forward. And look how much damage hit up Barstow with the Ancestral just barely connecting. And they're trying to turn this around on the ETC. Som getting low. Pops Iron Skin. Akaface goes for extra burst. Lunar Fighter does not end up connecting with anyone. Force Wall catches Michael Udall. Do they have the power slide? Ice Block used very early here. Snazzy looking for it. He does not end up connecting the power slide. Used a half second too early. And now he's in a bad spot. He does have to bolt out of there. Falstad gets caught though. And Everdride does go down.
This could be it. We do see the big push happening from Panda Global, but Lunara still doing so much damage, even though it's a 4v5. The ETC pushing back with a nice face up. The Ancient Spear is there. It's good, and ETC goes down.
Nice heals coming out from Rhaegar. Blessed Shield connects. That's going to be the death of Tyrande. And this should be game, Jake, as Mfu trying to get away, has that last phase shift, but they're still so healthy. Lunara, I don't know if her damage is going to be enough. The core is starting to fall. She's doing a lot. There's Akaface and Tomster get low, but there's the Storm Shield. So much burst coming out, but I don't think it matters, Jake. After such a long game, 30 minutes in, Panda Global is going to take the win.
What a beautiful game. Possibly the best game I've seen in a long time. Just so back and forth. The power of the vision and mobility and late game for Arcane. But it came down to just one team fight where we just saw the Ancestral Heal clutch out, keep Sonya standing after so much was thrown at her, and that allowed them to turn the fight around. The power of Rhaegar, man. That hero is pretty good.
Yeah, he is really good. Both teams play this phenomenally well
Yeah.
when it comes to playing on Dragonshire. I got to give mad respects to Arcane, a team that I had very little experience watching and casting. They played very well. They almost upset Panda Global. I know it's just the best of one, but they specifically they drafted very well, and then they played the map very well. I'm really impressed with Arcane Esports from this event.
Evan Drinde, it was worth the wait, man. It was worth the wait.
Yeah. Evan Trinde, please. Evan Trinde, please. Guys, that was an exciting set. But we are moving on to the finals. Jake, do we know who...
We should. Let me just get to the bracket.
We definitely should, with like how that was basically a best of two as we did the lobby war with Evan Trinde. It'll be HDB versus Panda Global. That'll be a best
Dog
of three.
burglars.
Hot Dog Burglars going up against Panda Global themselves, guys. If you're excited for this series, use the code #waffle in the chat, and we'll see how many people are actually amped up about this game.
Thanks for that, Zoya. We'll be back in just a few. Stay tuned.